Yes! Now we are live. Hi, everyone. Hello, good evening. I hope you guys are well. I'm so sorry about the delay. It's just because we're not, the audio wasn't working.
Technical issues.
Yes, what can I do? But thank you so much for being here today. I'm just gonna wait for 1 or 2 minutes just for everyone comes and enjoy this time with us. How you guys are doing? You guys are fine? You guys can hear us well? Can you see us? No? Hello, hello? You guys can see us? Can hear us? You guys can see us? Yes. We had 4 people before, now we have 1. Okay. Should we wait? Yes, 1 more minute and we're about to start. Yes, okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our first day of Homestyling and Wellbeing, Immersion. It is such a dream to be here with you guys today. We worked so hard to get all these informations to bring to you the ideas, the tools, the solutions to improve your time at home and improve your spaces at home as well. And also, it's really connected to your well-being can go through this lockdown time, because most of you guys, I would say, as myself is included, I would say Monica as well, we're kind of overwhelmed with like this whole new world of information, and we'd like to pass through what we've been learning on those years to help you to have a better time at home. I am your host. My name is Ana Casagrande. I'm from Attitude Designs. And here is my friend, Monica Sweeney from Monica Sweeney Coaching and Mentoring. We put it together, this series of workshops, and we are sure it's going to change your life for good. When we finish, we like to open for discussion and see how you guys learned with this whole workshop. I'm an architect and urban plan and interior designer as formation. And Monica is an executive life coaching and specialized in behavior profiling. Hello, Monica. How are you?
Hello, Anna. How are you? It looks like everyone was very excited to start this series. I think it will be so good to discuss some points. I can see a lot of moms overwhelmed with homeschooling and having to work from home at the same time, and moms and dads and kids and everyone mixed up in the same space. So I think we are coming with some ideas and some tools to help you out on that.
I think it's gonna be amazing because your knowledge as a professional and a person, I think it's gonna be helping. It's gonna contribute a lot for this series. I really appreciated your time and your effort to be here today. Thank you, Monica.
Thank you, Anna. It's a pleasure to be here with you, and I think we work together very well, and it's a real pleasure to be involved in this project that actually you initiated, because you wanted to help your clients with that, isn't it?
Yes, yes. For me, it was kind of I was working with my clients, and I realized something was missing, something wasn't connecting, and just because they are at home, they had no idea how they can create an atmosphere pleasant as outside. And now, just because they are at home, how they're gonna use that space to be like have a very beautiful environment. And the first person who came to my mind thinking about relationship with family and relationship with by 101, it was you. That's why like my idea came,
Thank
and
you.
just Monica,
Thank
it's
you.
just you came and pop up to my mind. It was just
Mm.
like your skills and your like everything you have as a person and your professional life is just, it's a beautiful combination.
Thank you, Anna. And you know what? I think when you understand a little bit how the human being works, one of the first thing that we have to be aware is of our environment, right? If our environment is favorable, everything flows much easily. And I think, again, your knowledge combined with that would be fantastic. Especially, I saw your last immersion about personality styles for design, actually. And I think it would be perfect in our next conversations. That would be
Mhm.
the same style, design style, and the combination with extended disc that I'm going to talk to you in two workshops. The next is
Yes,
about the design and the personality style for design, isn't it? And then the
yes,
other one, we are going to talk about the extended disc and apply to your environment as well. So
yes.
I think it's very important for people that are watching now, because I was talking to some of my clients, and they are really, um, I think, well, you use this word overwhelmed. I was trying to pick another word, but I think overwhelm is the right word to apply right now, because, uh, like 18 years ago, before COVID, there was a certain routine that everybody used to
To
function.
face.
Right.
Yes,
So there was like, you wake up and you get ready, take kids to school, and then you go to work, and the husband go to work, and then that's the normal routine. And you come back home, and then you prepare dinner, and that's it. But it's not that simple, right? You have to understand how to deal with each kid. Now you have the responsibility of homeschooling. Oh
it's
my
really hard.
God.
It's very challenging.
I was
Yes.
so I feel so blessed to not have to deal with that in the past. I really don't know how these moms are putting up with that. It's a lot of work, and I really admire you
Yes.
guys to be doing this kind of triple journey as a mom, as a woman, as a worker, and much more. Right. So
Yes.
I want to take my hat to you, because you're fantastic. You're amazing. You are doing a great job. I know
Yes.
sometimes you want to cry and you don't have the privacy to cry, and you want to go for a walk, and you want to get rid of the kids just for 15 minutes to be able to think. And
Just to go
sometimes,
to breathe a little bit outside.
yeah,
And
yeah,
nowadays,
yeah.
even though we cannot go outside, like go shopping, that's like when some moms or dad is kind of very overwhelmed, they go shopping and buy things they don't need it. But even though this private moments outside our home, it's kind of, it's not existing anymore. And how you deal with like this whole situation, like
Hmm.
where you have to leave the whole family for 24/7, it's
Yes,
very like
yeah.
overwhelmed. And I would like
And
to say a hands up just to who's like Anna. She's amazing. She's here with us, Alicia and Rocky. Thank you so much for you guys being here
hello,
and watching
hello,
us.
Grace.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I
Monica.
I know there's other people on Instagram, but unfortunately, we couldn't get make these two platforms to work together. But I'm sure we are going to share with um, our friends on Instagram later
Yes,
on. I
unfortunately,
don't
the
know.
Instagram isn't working today because we had some technical issues, but probably
Yeah,
the next one,
yeah.
you guys are able to watch everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, and the other thing I wanted to talk. I was going to talk like the premiere. I want to stress. No, I don't want to stress anything. I just want to ask you, and you can reply on the chat. What are your strategies to keep your mind calm, or to make everything to work? What you been doing? It would be very good to know from you. What's the strategy that you've been doing to keep your family together, right? Because talking to some of my clients, they have been facing some challenges in the relationships. A lot of, um, unfortunately, some aggressive behaves from the kids because they are upset that they cannot go out, they cannot play with their friends, they don't understand things, especially the small kids.
Mhm.
And the relationships with the partners. There's a lot of domestic violence increasing. There's a lot of depression and anxiety. So there's a lot of things going on right now, and I would like to know how you guys are going through this time. And the first thing I would like to bring in terms of well being is look after yourself, right?
First,
Because
like
if you don't look after yourself first, you won't have the energy and the peace of mind to deal with the kids and with your partner, with your husband, and with the rest of the family and friends and work and everything, right? So this is I use a lot this example, like in the airplane. When you are going on a flight, one of the things that the crew tells you is like, when the the oxygen mask fall, put first in yourself, and then you put on your kid or in who is on your side, because you have to be well first to be able to give to somebody else, right? So
but
look
first of all,
after
you need to
yourself.
understand yourself and what is the things you like and what is the things it makes sense for you. Because it was very interesting. I was running at last weekend. I was running my interior design classes,
Mm.
and the first of the first question I asked to them, like, what color do you like? And they said, like, I like blue, I like green, and what is the color you hated? And the person said, I hate red. And I say, okay, cool. And after we had a look in her, hello, Cindy. We had a look in her bedroom, and what is the first colors pop up on her bedroom? She had like four cushions and a lot of decorations in red. And she was very stressed out because she hated the decoration in her bedroom. And it's just kind of a simple things you can avoid, knowing yourself as a person who's going to help your kids and will
Mm.
can change the whole situation, because it can change the space that you have at home, but it can change
Yeah,
your behavior and it change your happiness as well. It's kind of was just Monica said is very fantastic, because you have to have the perspective to take care of yourself. But to take care of yourself, you need to know who you're dealing with.
yeah. And I think there are some simple tips that I think we could start with, which is organization. If your environment is organized, it's more likely that you will be able to think clearly. So, for you to have your thoughts organized, it's very important to have your um, your environment organized as well. But you might say, oh, but I have 3 kids at home. How can I have everything organized? So that's what we've been discussing, me and Ana Laura, about how could we help you to do that. So later on, Anna will give some tips about the spaces that you can create, the colors that you can use, the style that you can use. But uh, quickly, quickly speaking, I don't know the size of your house. When we have bigger houses, I think it's easier. When you live in an apartment, it's much more challenging to have things organized, especially with kids.
That's
So I would
correct.
recommend you first to create a routine. Create a routine for yourself, for the kids, for the common moments that you're going to share. Like, for example, the meals. Establish a time for the meals, because if you do a routine like the time to wake up, what are the tasks you are going to perform first, who is going to do what. So that's the first organization that I would propose to you to
And
do.
you have to keep repeating the things, because since you're at home, you feel exhausted because you are with the children. You have to keep repeating everything all over again. Since you have the routine, it's kind of an easy way to have this adjusted. And if you have a space to have this routine applied, it's even easier, because our brain is kind of Monica. I think you can say much better than myself. I'm just
You coming on my side.
I love your side. Come on.
Oh, God.
And it's just because when you have your routine connected to your space, it's more likely. This is the things you have to pick. This is the place you have to put it. And if you
Mhm.
have like an open space where you can organize by color, you can organize you can have different baskets. I do have like these baskets in my place, for example. It is amazing because this basket, it's where I put it everything. For example, this one, I put everything to my table when I'm working, and I don't like to be very messy. Otherwise, as Monica mentioned, it's very challenging for me to have everything in my table. And since I
Mhm.
have this to put it, my messy, it's kind of easier for me to keep going and working. And
Yes.
with your kids, you can have like they have like in IKEA, they have like the most simple, I think the simple bookcase when they have like a little basket, and you can, each one of you guys can have one basket where when you arrive from home, or if you're gonna do crafts, if you want to do like things you do at home, and you have a basket for each activities. But it's what I just said before. You need to know what you're gonna put in this basket. Sorry, Monica.
Yes. No, that's okay. But I think it's important to start from, let's think, from the beginning. So
Yes.
let's start with your daily routine. So let's imagine you have kids, and you work from home, and your husband also work from home. This is, let's say, scenario. So what my suggestion is, do like a paper, not like a paper, grab a paper and do a spreadsheet. Very simple. You can do that manually or can do on your computer. And then you put time to wake up. Let's say you wake up at 6:30. So what you're going to do? So first, remember looking after yourself. So first, do your meditation, do your have your shower, that one that you're going to think about what you're going to do during the day, and you calm down your thoughts and your anxiety, and then you said, okay, now I'm going to do breakfast for everyone, or inviting the family to collaborate with you. So the idea in this routine is to get everyone to contribute and to be part of the routine, so you don't get overwhelmed, because we as girls, we tend to do everything ourselves, our own, and by our own. So what I would suggest is, okay, every day of the week, it's someone that is going to help you to do the breakfast. Then lunch, someone else is going to help you to do lunch in different days. Let's say today is Little John's time to help, and then this is little Sandy, and this little Andrew, and then you go. So you can help them to understand that you also need help, right? You helping me because I need help to help you, right? Then,
That's a beautiful connotation, Monica.
yeah,
Because I think the parents, what I'd say, like they think they can a lot of them. They feel like, oh, I can do everything by myself. I don't need help, and they don't talk to the kids. They actually need this time to be with like themselves first. And I think
but
they don't have.
there is
It's
something
beautiful.
very, very funny that is like, ah, no, it's too much work. No, I do that quickly. No, don't bother doing with everyone. But this time, if you want the kids to be part of the family, to feel like they are part of this composition, and help you not get too much overwhelmed, you will have to be a little more patient to teach them how to help at the house. So you establishing these different roles, it will help you and will help them. You are going to have a very important chance to help them out, to organize their own thoughts, their own way to be. I'll give you an example. My mom, for example, she's an amazing woman, but she hates to have kids in the kitchen because it was too much, So we were five. So you can imagine it was a big mess to have everyone in the kitchen. So what she did, and I think it was very wise, she got one kid per day. So she got from Monday to Friday, right? And
That's
that
clever.
day, let's say after everything was done, we would go out for an ice cream or something like a reward for the day, but just that kid. So that day, it was, let's say, my day used to be Mondays because I am the oldest. So I have a relationship of love and hate with Mondays. So, it was very funny. But it really worked because you gave the full attention to that kid uh, while you were doing your chores at home, right? So she was
And
cleaning
also
the
the
bathroom,
kid, and
cleaning
also the
the
kid doesn't need to keep asking the mom when is my day, what I should be doing, and what is the
Mhm.
things I have to help at home, because they don't want to do it. That's kind
Yes,
of a normal behavior
yes,
for
yes,
kids.
yes.
And if you have like a thing, and oh, if you wanna have like a time and watching TV, you have to help me. It's kind of you change like you change times. They're
It's
helping you, and
it's a rewarding system. We call that
mhm.
a rewarding system. And so this spreadsheet that I was telling you to put on the wall, it will contemplate the time to do things, and time to do things together, time to do things by themselves, because they will have to do their homeschooling, they will have to be in front of the computer, they have time that the school set so they can follow the lessons, and then they have to do the homework. So you have to put all together, like create a matrix on your routine that you will be able to follow. And the fact that you are putting together those ideas of looking after yourself, separate the days for each kid or the roles for each kid, that will help you to understand when something happened. Oh, this is the day to do this and this and this and that. So your brain will be more organized as well, and will not be in looping to try to understand what should I do first, you know. But I understand it's not that simple. It doesn't help like overnight, but depends on your discipline to do that. So when you are disciplined as a parent, the kids are able to learn what discipline is. But if you don't want to have a routine, if you don't like routine, you don't want to follow a routine, you are, too overwhelmed to think about that, what will happen? The kids will follow your example, because kids follow examples. It doesn't matter if they are 2 years old, 5 years old, or 12 years old, or teenagers. They will be following your example. Teenagers is a different category, because we are
Yes,
not
a
going to
different
deal with
story.
that right now, because
It's a different
this is
life.
the extra challenge. We all know that. That doesn't follow just like that, because their hormones is like all over the shop. So I understand that will be even more challenging. But let's say we are talking to the younger parents with younger kids. I think if you start from the beginning, being disciplined, being organized, organizing a routine, that will be much, much easier in the future. Um, and if you need any help with organizing your routine, just give me send me a message, and then we can organize some sessions to help you out with that. And Anna, how they can separate these environments to help this organization?
I would say, like, first of all, they need to do this, what you just said. If they don't have clear, like, they don't have what they're looking at, it's really hard to organize these spaces. First of all,
Mhm.
that's why you saw a beautiful piece on these combinations of, like, well-being and interior designer, because you need to know what you're looking at it, and you need to understand your routines first and what you need to apply in your spaces. That's the first thing when you start to organize the basics for organize any spaces. You need to understand what you're gonna use, what is the purpose for the space. What
So
is
you
what you
mean you mean that when, let's say, I'm imagining that when you have a session with a client to understand what kind of space they want, you first have them to have clear what they want
now, what I do normally,
or what they need.
yeah, I do kind of I do a kind of a quiz where I get to know each one of the family, and I do like a quiz with, like, the mom, with the dad, and with the kids are involved. I normally put
Mhm.
the kids as well, because I think the kids are they have like a powerful voice. If, like, sometimes they don't want to be involved, and that's okay. But the parents always tell me what the kids needed for that space. If you're
Mhm.
gonna do your living room, I would say, like, right now, whereas the living room, they can do everything. They have to understand what type of tasks they will do on the living room, what type of tasks they're gonna do in the bedroom,
Mhm.
and what type
Mhm.
of tasks they're gonna do, like, in the kitchen, because some kids, they like to talk to their, like, maybe the mom's cooking, and she also needs to do homeschooling as well, because probably it's the situation right now. I would say, like, the
Yeah.
kids is kind of with the iPad trying to go through the homeschooling, and the mom's kind of cooking to to feed the children, and how they will do that if they had no idea what's going to happen on the day.
Yeah, yeah. That's why routine is very important, because that will give you a perspective of what's going to happen in the house on Monday, what's going to happen in the house on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the weekends. So it's very important to teach the kids that there is days for everything, there is time for everything, and something that I feel it's really important to stress out is that they are part of the family, so they have to have a voice But at the same time, their voice might not override your voices as parents, because that I feel like today that is a kind of uh, permissive kind of culture, like, oh, they do whatever they like, they are priority. They being priority doesn't mean that they can do everything they want at the time they want, because if you want to contribute for your kid to be a better adult, to be more resilient, to understand what they need to do, and not procrastinate and have their own organization, that starts now. And I think it's a
Yes.
great opportunity to use this moment that is everybody together, that you can teach them by your example how discipline can work for good. Not as a tyrannic thing, oh, discipline is like an army. No, it doesn't need to be that. Actually, I think it's very important for the parents to be vulnerable and to have open conversations with the kids and saying, listen, if you keep screaming, I will be overwhelmed and I won't be able to help you, and you will need to finish this lesson, because your teacher will be asking you about that, and you have to be accountable to the teacher. So this is something that I see happening in some families, and in other families they don't know how to do that. So uh, my tip for you is be vulnerable and say, I don't know how to deal with that. You can tell your kid, I'm feeling overwhelmed as you are. I don't know how to deal with that. How can we do that together? And the same with your partner, because usually what I've been seeing is man goes to work online and working, especially the white collar people, and the mom has to work as well, but is left with the work, with the kid, with the house and everything. So at this time, I suggest you stimulate conversations. How can you sit down and talk to everyone and make agreements? Who is going to do what? So you together, you can decide what is the best routine for your family. What's the best routine for your house? How can you
That
share things?
that's something I talk to my fiance. We
Mm.
talk every Sunday normally, because I talk to him on Sunday because that's the day he's rest. And that's
Mm.
the day we had off for us. If you try to call me on Sunday, rarely I will answer you guys, just because this day is dedicated to him. And we always try to put it what we did on the during the week, and what we can do to improve, and what we're going to do next week. And when you have this conversation, if your husband, if your wife, if you live, even though, Monica, I would like to talk to you later, different scenarios, as like living with your mom and with your grandma, because when I
Yes.
was living out, after we talk more about that, but
Yeah.
these agreements, it's really important. I would say, like a suggestion I can give you guys, I do for myself and really works. I do during the weekends, just because the weekends is the day normally you're not gonna work, or if you're not gonna work during the week, which day you guys, the whole family is at home, because it's kind of, you have a fresh mind to have
Mhm.
these discussions, when you
Mhm.
have these talks, and kind of you give some ideas how you're gonna go grow up together.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you're gonna talk, if your husband, after he finished at work, rarely you're gonna have the answer to have this conversation, and probably he's gonna be very tired, or even you gonna be very tired, and you're gonna say the words, you as a woman, okay, and you're gonna say the words, it's not appropriated for that moment. My recommendation is, kind of, when you have a kind of a clear mind, you start to organizing your routines, and also apply to your space, because your space is this kind of, it can change. It can change for and transform for what you need at the moment. You don't need to have
Mhm.
like a space where you're gonna do everything right now.
Dedicated to this, dedicated to that. Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
and I was talking to my client. I think it was with you, Rocky. He was watching me. Uh, now we are doing his house, right? And I said to him, after 5 years, he can change his furniture around to have a better look because all the furniture we're putting in his house is kind of a temporal, and he can change the furniture all around to adapt to the different needs he needs at the
For
moment.
different purpose. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, because the
Yeah.
kids are growing, or I don't know, maybe his moms will come and live it to his house and need to adapt the
Yeah.
space for the
Yeah.
different needs.
Yeah. Yeah, and one more thing that I think it's important to talk about is about what you do in each day, following what you were saying and what I was saying about routine. Like it's important to set up the days you're working. So let's say you work in an office and now you're working from home because you can't go to the office. So make sure that you get out of your emails in an appropriate time. Let's say you finish normally at 5, 6. So you finish with your work emails as well. Because with the internet, that everything is happening in real time. So everyone expects to have a response at 8 p.m. or whenever time they see you are online, they said, oh, I saw you were online but you didn't reply. So I want to tell you this: you have no obligation to reply a work email at 8 p.m. unless it's something that you consider is something super important that this person can wait for this response. But usually people can wait to the next day, like I said, unless it's something really urgent. So make sure that you follow some specific times for things and leave the weekend to have some time with your family or with the partner that is more busy with the children, usually the women, to have time for herself. So the other side, let's say the other half, be understanding that this person would need some time to breathe and to refresh their body, their spirit, and everything. So I think it's very, very important for you to be understanding of each other and to look to the other person needs. Because although I say to you, look after yourself first, it doesn't mean that you are not going to look to the others. But what I mean is that you need to be well with yourself, but you also need to be mindful of everybody's needs, the kids, the husband, and if you have other family members living with you as well. So the idea is share the burden, because this burden will be much lighter and it won't be something for you to feel the weight. But if you are feeling the weight, it means that the weight is over you. So how can you share the weight? So I really recommend you to start some conversations, some meaningful conversations with your family members. And like I said, with the kids, be vulnerable with the kids. Tell what you can and what you can do, and why you can and why you can't do. But remember to preserve your privacy as a couple. Your kids are not your psychologist. Your kids are not your best friend. They are your friend. You can have a fantastic relationships with them, but there are certain things that is related to your relationship with your husband that belongs only to your bedroom. So don't try to make the kids to say be vulnerable. Doesn't mean like, oh, because your dad last night, he said this, he
Don't
said that.
complain to each other. I think that's the point,
No,
because if you're like,
yeah,
oh, your mom's not doing that, your dad is not doing that, or
that
even
doesn't
though
work
if
well.
you live in a atmosphere, for me, I grew up with two women, and I think my mom and my auntie, they were very wise. They never ever complained for each other. They always
Mhm.
trying to have an agreement between my mom and my auntie. And after, they talk to me as a kid to say, Anna, you cannot do that. But they always have this agreement before they talking to me, because
Yeah.
otherwise the kids will be completely, oh my God, what are we doing? And
No,
it's
and we have to understand that kids, they can be amazing, but they also can be a little bit, let's say, demanding. And if you are not aligned with your husband or with your partner, they can take advantage of that, and that can go against you or against your partner, and that the beginning of the conflicts among the whole family. So keep certain things to yourself and to your husband. Discuss only with him, and if you can't sort it out, you have a lot of counseling online, or you can have the Lifeline. You have Beyond Blue for depression. So use these resources, because sometimes we all need, right? If you need
it's
to talk,
okay, and it's okay
yeah,
to
it's
feel like
okay.
that.
Yeah. And then if you have a good friend, talk to a good friend, but don't complain about your partner to your kids. That does a lot of damage in their own brains, in their own self-esteem, because they tend to think that they are to blame for your depression, for your lack of self-esteem, or your confusion. So try to speak life to your kids. That's what they need from you. They need you to speak life over them, right?
And also
And
they feel like, if you're not like, I remember I had I have a friend of mine. She was saying, her, I think it was her mom, she doesn't take care of herself, and it's kind of, it's that vision you're passing to like the kids, what they're doing, and they're gonna copy that. If
now
you
more
see,
than any other time, because they are seeing you all the time. So more than anything, you need to be a big example for them. And it should not be something really heavy if you are well with yourself, and if you do these agreements, and also the agreements of who is in each space. Let's say this
yes,
kid
that's really important.
cannot, yeah, let's
And
say
the time
the
agreement, I would say as well, because for like a situation that I faced when I was like, now my fiance, he's working, but we share the same space, and I work in my living room, and he also play his computer in the same space. And I try to finish my work between 3 o'clock, because 3 o'clock, that's the time he'll be using to talk to his friends. And if I had an online meeting with a client of mine, I will disturb him, and I will be disturbed. And it's kind of, we had to adjust
that's the
in this.
agreements, right?
That's the agreement we did.
Yeah.
Even though we are sharing the same space, you need to have different times to do different tasks. And I have my environment as my mini office, and he has his space as he likes to play in the computer like a gamer. And when he's doing his time in the like game space, I normally don't go and talk to him. I normally don't go and try to disturb him, like passing through, because
So what do
like
you what do you do? Where do you go? Do you go to
I
your
try.
bedroom, or what do you do?
I try to finalize my day a little bit earlier, where like I had all my meetings before 3 o'clock, because 3 o'clock, that's the time he likes to talk to his friends, and
Mhm.
I just try to put it or I use headphones. Normally I don't like to use headphones. I like to talk face to face. When he's at home, I try to use the headphones because I don't need to talk to him really loud.
Mhm.
I also try to be very organized. I'm a very messy person, unfortunately, and I know if I put it, my things close to him, he will be
Mm.
disturbed. What I do, I create a kind of a little spaces for myself where I'll be
Mhm.
not be disturbing him.
Yeah.
Because like I remember when we're living face to face, and like for example, he's in the kitchen. I try to not go to the kitchen at the time he's there.
Yeah. But also make sure that you do meals together at least so you can have time together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, what we
Yeah.
do, we had a, like on the weekends. On the weekend, it's where the time we are together. On the
Yeah.
weekdays, each one are doing their own lives. But
Mm.
in the weekends, that's the time we don't use computer, we don't talk on the phone, we had no meetings. It's kind of the time we agreed to be on the same space. When we're like watching TV, and it's kind of we creating these small spaces with our connected to
Yeah.
our routine to have the, Monica, what's your example if your
Yeah.
husband?
Well, at the moment it's just me and my husband, but we had until last year at the last lockdown, we had 7 people at the house. So
Wow, Monica.
it was a real challenge. So when you said, "Oh, she just have her and her husband now," I would say thank God for one side, but the other side, I really miss the kids here. But we had like we had let's say space for everyone. We had four different bedrooms, so we could have some privacy in our bedrooms. um, so when someone was working, because my daughter and my son was working online, and another uh, girl that is part of our family also, she was spending a year here in Australia, so she had to study online as well. So then we have to create different spaces at the house so no one would disturb the other
Each
one
other.
depending on the activity, because
That's
my daughter
hard.
and my son, they need to be in meetings, and so did I, and so did my husband. So it was a big challenge, but we managed to create this routine. We knew what each other were doing, and we would advise each other. Let's say, listen, tomorrow at 10 I have a meeting and I can't be interrupted. Is that okay? Oh yeah, okay. Otherwise, sometimes my daughter had to go to her car to do meetings, which was which was hard, but it was the way that she found that she will have the privacy that she needed, because she's in HR. So she needed to have some privacy conversations. So she would do that. So
And also,
this
you
is
moved
a very
your
challenging. Uh,
your office for your bedroom. Do you remember? Because
yes, yeah, yeah. So then Anna helped me to create my home office when all these kids went to their own places. So then I was able to create my own space here, my proper home office where I can receive my clients and I can do and actually now everything online.
Mhm.
And today, what I do with my husband is I set up these routines that I told you, and we have our moments by our own. Early morning, he goes to the veranda with a cup of coffee, see the sun rising, and I follow him with another cup of coffee, and we have
That's
this
good
time
to
together.
be.
But then, very soon, like 6:30, we are having our showers, and I go first, and then he goes, and then I started my work actually. Monday, Tuesday is a bit late, like 8 o'clock, but Thursday, no, Wednesday, Thursdays, Fridays is 6 o'clock. So I have to do that all before 5:30, right? But then we make sure that we finish the day in a time that is appropriated for having dinner together and watch the news and get a movie, or just have some times around the fireplace when it's some cooler days, have a glass of wine or just chat. And that's been working a lot for us. And I understand it was more challenging when the kids were around, but for us now it's to establish a time to not get into work after 6 o'clock. So this has been our biggest challenge, but it's been working for us. Yeah.
I would say thank you so much for Monica. We got it like for today, and for your beautiful explanations, your talent, and thank you so much for bringing this all information for our lives today. It was
Thank
like
you, and it was a
very valid. I
pleasure.
really appreciate it. I see like Alicia. It's her birthday today,
Oh,
23rd of August.
happy birthday! Shall we
uh,
sing?
yes. She just put a, like a beautiful comment, like love this inside the shared best routine for your health, something to think about it, have a balance between the needs and purpose. I like,
Very
she
good.
just
Yeah,
summarized.
you got it. Very good. Very good. I hope
She,
that helps you guys. And we are going to go into more details ahead. And Anna will bring the home styling test next week. And the other week, I'm coming with the extended disc to explain you about the different personalities that will help you to have better conversations and facilitate conversations with your family members, uh, understanding how they behave, if they are more dominant, they are more joyful influencer, the visionaries, or if they are more traditional, more systematic, or if they are more thinking persons. So I think we have a lot to discuss in the future. And then the last three, Anna and I will give some ideas for homeschooling, for home office, and living together. Is that
yeah,
right,
living
Anna?
together. I think the living together is gonna be amazing because we're gonna talk about the a whole topic is in kind of wrapping up all the discussions we have. It's gonna be amazing to have you guys with us. It's gonna be for 6 lives, as Monica just said the titles. And we are just trying to, in the end of this journey all together, we'd like you to feel how your home and your family can have like a beautiful environment all together. And I just would like to say thank you so much for like who's watching us. I would like if you guys like talking to us and sending some comments. If you feel free to like, I see Cindy. She said like amazing. Thank you, Cindy.
Awesome. All
uh,
right. Okay. Very
thank
good.
you so much. This is
Thank
a
you,
very
Anna.
Brazilian
Thank you,
way to say
everybody.
goodbye.
Goodbye. I'll see you soon. See you
See
next
you
week.
soon.
Bye
See ya.
bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Let's see if you would like to say something.